like a gentleman should.
As you should. Another episode. We are at another episode of this
endeavor
joy,
of
right.
ours. Yes.
Yes. And as I did take all these notes, I'm like, man, I really don't like people.
That's been a theme for at least the last 16 podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 17 ain't any better.
All right.
It really isn't.
Go ahead. Hit me with today's
All right.
latest dose
Let's
of
start with the
antisocial behavior.
Because we were talking about earlier. Fucking, how dumb is TikTok?
Oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Well, it sparked because I was looking at all these articles about people who are getting hurt doing TikTok challenges.
Right?
Like they get worse and worse. I mean,
sure.
Like a kid just got whacked.
Anybody die?
Yeah.
Good.
He whacked out on Benadryl or something. Like,
nice.
you taking a Benadryl, you hallucinate. No one told him that's probably the start of crystal meth, isn't Benadryl?
I don't know.
And crystal meth?
I don't know, but I
acid.
heard, I saw a guy talk about how if you take 10 or 12 Benadryls, how it enhances sexual functions or whatever.
Well, this kid was told
10 to 12. That's a
lot.
A lot. Yeah, a lot.
But I always thought that you took the Benadryl mixed with, like, you know, the inside of a 9-volt and bleach and all that, and that's what they make meth out of.
Sounds like a good concoction to me, sure.
I don't know how anybody would want to take meth. Did you ever see the labs?
No, it's all garbage, though, right? It's like a little bit of gasoline in there. And
go under your sink and just go...
and that's
just start pouring shit into a bucket, and eventually it'll make meth.
All right.
Or they make it where they...
How did they get the blue color?
Well, that's TV.
Oh, okay.
Wasn't it one of those mentally challenging dyes, like yellow 5 and all that?
It's on the list.
The blue 7.
Not to ingest, yeah.
Yeah, and they ingest it. It's probably Drano. It's freaking idiots.
Could be.
But it's like, because they take, and they were doing it, they take a soda bottle and they make it in a soda bottle and they walk around with a soda bottle making meth. It's like, you know, it's like the cheap version.
Like just fermenting it?
I guess, and then they just kind of do whatever they do to make it into crystal to smoke it. They do it for themselves, but they plop a bunch of decongestant in there and battery acid and whatever.
So they walk around with it so that it's not housed somewhere that they could be busted for?
Right. I mean, it's
better to be mobile.
But they've blown up in people's cars.
Sure. Well, you always hear about labs blown up, right?
So, but this is a small version of the, probably like Mentos in a bottle.
Nice.
Blow up your car or whatever. But no, the TikTok stuff's crazy. Like people throwing buckets on people's heads. Or some lady, they threw a bucket on her head and then she went to a seizure. She had a panic attack seizure or something like that.
Wow.
Like, but who starts it? Like,
my mom said when she lived in the South Bronx as a kid that the people used to drop flower pots out of their windows trying to hit people.
From a 3rd story or whatever? That would hurt.
It's a ceramic pot.
It would kill you.
Yeah, you know, she was a child of the 40s and 50s.
Was she dumping?
No.
Wait a minute. What does a child of the 40s or 50s have to do with murder?
Because they didn't do plastic shit back then. It was all ceramic.
Oh, I thought you meant because you're a kid in the 50s, you could throw pots off the 4th floor.
No, so it was all ceramic.
So they were just throwing them to get them out, get rid of them? Or purposefully?
No, they hit people.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
probably full of dirt, too, so...
Yeah.
It's a missile.
Yeah, it's a bomb.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing that they busted, if you throw a penny off the Empire State Building, that would crush a car.
Yeah, it would go like 6 feet into the cement or whatever.
It doesn't.
Did they ever try that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
It didn't kill anything.
But they didn't actually drop it off the Empire State. They probably did like a...
Well, they did it off something.
Simulation.
Did they do that on
that? What was that thing?
Mythbusters?
That's the one.
They did it, but I don't know how high up they went.
And then they said, well, if it was this much...
Right, probably did the math.
Right.
Once you get to terminal velocity, it can't go any faster.
My guess is if you drop it off the Empire State, the wind's going to take it anyway.
Right. You probably drop it down, and it's probably 16 blocks that way before it lands.
Right.
But they once you figure
out
a
taxi sheared in half, like 10 blocks away.
Yeah, this little narrow.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it looked like somebody with a weed whacker. But once you get to the fastest speed you can get, that's how they do the math. I guess. I mean, you can only go so fast, right? You falling, you're only going to fall so fast.
Right.
And they could just figure out the impact, I guess. That dude jumped out of that building in Jersey City, landed on a car and survived.
Nice.
Landed on a BMW and survived. I don't know if I'd want to.
Yeah.
I mean,
You got a broken ass.
I would think so.
Cannonball style?
I don't know. I think he was thrown off the roof. I think it was a Russian.
He just grabbed his knees.
And said,
Hey.
It's like, how do you? Well, all right, if you're going to jump off, not that you can condone suicide. If you need to have suicide, you get help. You know that whole thing. It's true. But
I think you would swan dive this way you hit your head.
yeah, you wouldn't
If
cannonball.
No, if you're trying to kill yourself,
Right.
why would you want to hit feet first?
But what if you're like one of those people who don't know how to dive and you just go? You're just going this way, and your stomach
You're
hits.
just falling.
Yeah,
Like, how do you not know how to dive?
No, but you don't
that's
get your
true.
feet up, right?
Yeah.
So,
I guess then you could go that way and land on your back.
so how shitty would that feel? That for that nanosecond, your stomach hits first, and you're like, shit, bang.
Yeah.
I would think you pass out halfway down.
I don't think you'd want to look, that's for sure.
No, that's what you do at night, right?
Right, because if you were veering towards a fence or something, you'd probably be like, ooh, this ain't going to be good at all. Yeah.
But do you think you'll have a heart attack or panic
I've
attack?
heard that if you jump out of like something very high,
Right.
that you have a heart attack before you hit the ground.
Okay.
But
But
how did they really know?
Right.
What
about those?
They do one of those experiments with animals, like they throw a rat off a tall building, see if it has a heart attack halfway down.
Or they catch it
They
halfway
put
down?
little monitors on
They
it.
catch it halfway down. They'll be still alive. Drop him again.
Hit him with little baby paddles. Try it again.
Little pat. Get up, you little son of a bitch. Or like all those people who survived jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge. There's always stories of that.
Yeah.
That's got to freak you the fuck out.
It's mostly about the current, right?
I guess. But how
Because
do you...
I hear the current's really bad there.
Right, but you figure when you're a kid, you jump into a pool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you used to jump over your roof. Did they hit the bottom of the pool?
It was a 4-foot pool.
I know.
Yeah.
So they hit off the bottom,
Yeah.
but not with enough impact to get hurt.
Could have, sure, of course. Could have blown out your knees.
Right. But for the most
Sure.
part, the water slowed you down. Not enough. Well, you figure, how high was your roof? 20 foot?
Somewhere between 20 and 30, I would say. Yeah.
Probably one of the best.
25?
You want to talk about somebody getting sick of your comedy? Pulling up to your house with Lisa? Where's Tim's house? Right there. With the 4 people on the roof. What are they doing? Jumping in the pool. I can't even imagine the shock.
To the pool?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
always
walls
expected it to blow out.
Anybody ever miss?
No.
Thank God.
No, it was pretty close to the house. So it
But I mean, maybe
was
drunk.
perfect.
You're over a little to the left too much. You hit the edge. Gosh.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I mean, the closest thing was like maybe jumping a little too soon after the person before you jumped.
You're right.
And you're kind of close. But I don't think anybody even landed on anyone.
That was the biggest fear at Action Park. You jump off the cliff.
Oh, yeah.
Go. Start
Yeah.
swimming because they're
Yeah.
going to send somebody.
Exactly.
Like if you're lollygagging, you're getting hit by feet.
Right.
Action Park. Closest thing to suicide. It's funny when that was on TV. I'm like, that's the closest thing to suicide. And then the announcer guy's like, closest thing you can get to suicide. Jumping off the cliff at
Nice.
Action Park. We don't
Yeah.
condone suicide.
Traction Park.
If you have suicidal thoughts, get help. They do that a lot. Even Metallica did that the other day.
What?
I was listening to Fade to Black live,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually, before they did the second half of the song, they actually stopped and gave a whole speech about,
Action Park?
no, suicide. yeah. James Hetfield was like, listen, I remember when I was a kid growing up, and
That's right. When we moved from California to Old Bridge,
we went to
we went to Action Park.
No, the thing about suicide. But,
Okay.
yeah, but anyway. But I want to get back to the original thought. Was you jump off of the bridge, you got to probably go 50 feet down. How far down do you think you go in the water? I mean, it's got to feel like concrete when you first hit it.
I think that's also another thing. Depends how you hit, right? If you hit straight like a pike, you probably pierce the water. But if there's any sort of horizontalness to your body,
right?
Ooh, smack.
That's gotta.
Oh, that's gotta be bad.
So you go down and you open, and you gotta imagine it's like so.
Because I remember doing that cliff jump at Action Park, and that was about 30 feet, right?
Yeah, at least 25,
and
30.
you got to go down probably about 15 feet, I would think.
Sure.
So, let's say it's half. So, depending on how high the Golden Gate Bridge is,
let's say
say it's 200 feet, you're probably going in 100 feet. I don't know. That's my guess. I don't know.
I don't know how deep that is, right? But let's say
good luck holding your breath that much, right? Because you're panicking.
Yeah, like so. The first thing you realize you're not dead.
Sure.
And then you're in black. You got to be in darkness.
All right. Now I got to think about this. Why would anybody think that they could kill themselves by jumping off a bridge? Maybe you're just cliff diving.
Right, but maybe they think that.
Unless you're landing on rocks.
Well, maybe they think that they hit the water, takes their breath away, and you go away. You don't recover from that sink down. You have no breath and you go down. But let's say you do pierce the water.
Seems like a bad way to go.
Yeah, you got a lot of time to think.
Drowning.
Yeah. They say it's peaceful.
Drowning?
At the end.
Yeah. All those methods are real peaceful at the end.
Once you fill up with water, they say it's peaceful.
Oh.
That's what they say.
Okay.
I don't know who told them that.
Again, rat studies.
Yeah, I have no idea. How'd you feel after we filled you up with water?
You just see a hose in a rat's mouth, and then it gets to a certain point, he's like,
he just smiles.
This is cool, man. We're good. We're good.
But, so let's say you survive, right? You drop 100 feet in the water, you open your eyes, you're like, I'm not dead.
Right.
It's got to be pitch black.
Well, I'm sure you could see the sunlight, unless you go at night.
100 feet up, do you think you can still see the light?
Sure, why not?
I don't know. Seems deep. I've never been 100 feet underwater, so I don't know.
Me either.
All right, so now you force yourself back up, and then you got to get to the shore.
Yeah, I think that's the hard part. I think that's where it gets most people.
Right, the swim.
Right.
Or maybe they just lay there.
And
in
isn't
the
that kind of near Alcatraz, too?
I guess.
Because I think they also have sharks out there.
Man.
I think that was one of the things about Alcatraz is like an island with bad currents and some sharks. I probably depends on the year.
Right.
But at what time of the year, I mean. Not the year, but whether they're mating or feeding or whatever they're doing. Right?
You don't want to jump into that mating.
No, you definitely don't. I don't think you get eaten. I think you just get a shark dick in the ear.
You get mated.
Shark bukkake.
How bad? How bad would that be that you're coming back up and all of a sudden?
Well, you definitely want to die after that.
Yeah.
Right.
Or worse yet, you're some
stupid fins. They're holding on to you so you can't move and just fucking your face.
Or if you're a lady and they get you in the vagina.
Hey.
Next thing you know, not only did you survive,
land shark.
You survived that suicide attempt, but now you're shark pregnant. Now you might as well swim to the island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah. Good luck getting that kid out with that fin.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be a little pliable. Like babies, they're kind of squishy and soft to get through there.
I don't know. I think it just might.
You think you could carry it to term?
Shark baby?
Yeah.
Sure.
How long is the gestation? Like 6 weeks? Do you only have one?
Because I don't know.
Is it like
how long
litter?
does it take a shark? They just kind of plop them out as they're swimming, right?
I think so, but is it one or is it a bunch?
Like dogs?
Or goldfish.
A whole litter?
Spit out like 40 fish.
But they spit out eggs, right?
Some spit out little fish.
Yeah?
I think so. No, I think they're all eggs.
I think they're all eggs.
Seahorses too. But then they hatch and then they turn around and eat them. That's always fun.
That's got to be the different... What? So is a shark then a mammal because it gives a live birth?
Do they give a live birth?
I would think. I never saw a shark egg.
You got the Googles.
Shark eggs.
Yeah, what is it? How is a shark born?
Born.
And hopefully not by a person.
How is a shark Born. That's right. I said born. The Shark Trust? What?
What? Shark reproduction.
Wait. Let me take this off. It always resets for some reason.
The embryo develops with an egg case, a thin membrane, hatch inside its mother, and then get out. There you go.
Ah. Go ahead. Give me cookies. I don't care. Okay.
So it has like a baby inside it, and then it hatches inside.
Interesting.
Ooh.
What is that?
Going on there? It's a nightmare. Spiral eggs? That's the shark baby?
What is going on?
Scroll down. What's it say? Horn shark lays spiral-shaped eggs and wedge it between the rocks. Is that the shark's ass? Is it the shark's face?
Yeah. Looks like it's...
Face.
I don't know.
That's awfully odd. I don't want to run into a horn shark.
It looks like it was chewing tobacco, and now it just spit out a big wad.
He's a baseball player. It's not a shark.
Juice. I'm saving this one.
Did you say? Oh, juice. Like O.J. Simpson?
Yeah.
The juice is loose?
From the chewing tobacco. The spit. Get image? No.
Shark. Spit.
That's right. Okay, so they give... depends on the breed. But they give live birth.
How about that?
Crazy.
We're learning something.
But, unlike mammals, when the pups are born, they're immediately independent. Oh, that's the difference.
Wouldn't that be so much easier?
What's that?
If that's how life was? That the kid popped out walking, talking, doing its thing?
Of course.
Are we the only species that has to train its young?
No. Birds.
They have to train them to...
Fly and all that stuff.
They
feed them. They do the whole baby bird thing to feed them.
I just think of that O&A thing.
Yeah.
But they don't... But, I mean, we have to learn everything.
We stink. We're one of the worst.
Giraffes, horse, they all know how to walk.
They kind of... Yeah, if you don't get up and walk right away, you're basically dead in the wild. Right?
Right. You're just hoping to God somebody picks you up.
Yeah, I would think bears immediately move around, deer.
Tigers, lions, all that.
All of that. Yeah, you have to.
Right. I mean, birds
They can't sit around watching you for 9 months.
Right.
Like a human is... We're so bad.
We're the worst.
Because we're just jelly until we're... You barely even walk at 9 months to a year, right?
Right. And communication.
First steps. You can't. What are you going to do for food?
All we have is thumbs.
As a 1-year-old.
The only thing that made us was thumbs. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah. Only separating us from animals. Thumbs. Then people are dumb. See?
Yeah. What else you got? What else do you hate people for?
Oh, road rage.
You did that one last time?
Well, this one's the violence that road rages.
Oh, no. This was about your road rage because somebody parked their car in the middle of the ramp.
Oh, that was, right. That
and
was
then they went nose to nose to jump
charge
the car.
on an off-ramp in the dark. Perfect. Now, this is road rage like violence. Like, people are so violent in their road rage now.
That's me.
But you don't pull out a gun. Think you'd pull out a gun if you had one?
No. Oh, if I had one.
Well, no, there was a thing they were talking. It was one of those articles again, Florida, which is another thing. Is the Florida thing parody now? Like, you know, there was like, oh, Florida man did this, Florida man did that. Like,
is it
a
like, crazy place?
It is a crazy place, but is it like becoming parody of itself? Like,
it's always been.
But it seems like it's starting to really eat its young.
It's
like the story started where these two animals.
Okay, if you have nothing to talk about, just look at news in Florida, and you'll have enough ammunition for weeks.
Right, but this isn't from Florida. I don't know where these two idiots did this, but it's one thing if you're in a car by yourself and you get into a little scuffle, right? A little road rage, a little brake checking, maybe you throw a guy into a telephone pole, whatever. Whatever.
Little stuff, baby stuff, yeah.
Or you give him a little wedge, maybe spit him out, whatever. You know, you've seen the idiots. You've seen the videos. All right, so these two idiots get into it. I think the one guy's wife threw a water bottle at the other guy. He opens fire. Doesn't shoot.
Was it target practice? He thought it was a moving target?
He shoots.
Shoot that water bottle right out of here?
He shoots the truck, misses them, and
Did somebody yell pull?
Yeah. Maybe it was a reflex. I don't know.
Yeah.
He misses, but hits their kid in the backseat, daughter.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Are you sure that's a miss?
For him, I don't know. Let's say for all intent and purposes, he was trying to shoot the driver.
Okay.
Shot. So what's that driver do? He reaches under the seat, grabs his gun.
Okay.
Returns fire, misses his intended target, hits his kid.
Okay.
In the car. They got two kids hit.
So they're square.
Right. Law of averages, whatever.
Law of averages.
Whatever you want to say.
Right. Even Steven.
Yeah, we're even, eye for an eye.
Yeah, all that.
But
we both suck at shooting while moving.
Right, but I could see you doing that to each other if there's nobody with you. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's the rage part. It doesn't matter.
But why is it so worse now?
I don't know if it's worse. I don't think it's worse. I think we just have more access to all kinds of stories than we did before.
Oh, so you think there was always the two guys shooting at each other?
Yeah, always. Always.
But does that make you, as the more stories you read, does that make you say, I don't, just go, dude? You know?
What do you mean? Does it make me calmer behind the wheel?
Yeah. Maybe not calmer, but less aggressive. Aggressive enough, but not overly aggressive.
I don't know. I have my moments.
We all do.
So.
Right. But I don't know if I'd go smashing into this. Like, you see these videos where people are just smashing into each other.
I love those.
It's insane, though.
I know, because it's like, not only are you going to get arrested because you're on film, your license plate's on film.
Yeah.
You're damaging public property.
Two guys are fist fighting.
Intent to harm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you ruined your own car.
Yeah, you ruined your own car, his car. You fist fought. God forbid he's not like an MMA guy. Or just an ornery son of a bitch to just beat you down. Yeah. Like, you know, I just feel like it's like rage. Like,
you got to practice your sprawl.
I think so.
Right, because the guy gets out and you see it, look at his ears, and you're like, oh no.
You get back in the car and say, sorry.
I know it's coming.
Right.
He's going to shoot. He's going to shoot for the legs.
Or if he's just, he's coming and he's just coming swinging. Like there was a big fight with, what's his name, Nate Diaz. You see that fight?
Yeah, I did. He choked a guy out in the street.
In the middle of it. Calmly choked out a guy with a fight going on.
Could be worse. I mean, could have duked the guy up, right?
Yeah. But he
was way taller than the guy because he had him in a standing guillotine, which is really hard to do.
And it was very calm.
Yeah, he was just like, I got it.
Yeah, and he just dropped him down.
Yeah,
that was throw him to the ground.
Right.
But it was just hilarious that there was a 360-degree fight around him.
Well, of course.
And that guy...
Everybody's got to get involved.
Right, but that guy's had no friends. Or if they had friends and they looked up and saw their friend in that position.
You know what the problem is? What's with the camera guy? That video was all over the place.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah.
It's gone awful.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Like, are you jumping?
Right.
Like,
why are you with... I mean, for our entertainment, yes, the camera's great.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like... Is that...
Look, if you're going to be camera guy, film the thing correctly.
Now, my question is, do you think he becomes camera guy because he's afraid of the fight?
No, he just wants to have a cool video.
Right, but if he says, look, I'm filming, no one's going to punch me?
Yeah, I don't know about that. It's not like the Red Cross. You don't just get a pass.
Get the big red thing on his head.
If he had the helmet with the Red Cross on it.
Whoa, I'm just the press. I'm the press.
Yeah, then you get to film it. No, I don't think so. No.
I feel like that is. Like, I'm not going to get into the mix. I'm just going to film the mix, so no one's going to hit me. I got the camera.
I don't think you get a pass in a street fight with anything.
You'd hope not.
I got to tell you a good story.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I have ever told you this. So, we were at the fast lane.
Asbury Park.
Yeah, watching
R.I.P.
Typo.
Okay.
And there was this lady there, and she had some colors on. The motorcycle friendly folks colors, right? With a name we all know in the back, and some dude pushed her, and then the next thing you saw, these two fucking monsters just kicking the shit out of him, right?
Right.
They had their colors on, right? And so they're beating the shit out of this guy. And other people from the crowd decide they're going to just start, like, kicking the guy while he's down. And the biker dudes got annoyed that they were jumping in on their party and just started beating up everybody. So if you remember how the fast lane was, you walked in.
Bar.
And then there's a bar on your right. And then it's like a long oval. And then the stage is kind of in line with the bar.
Right, and then you have the bleachers in the back.
Over there, right. So between the bar and the stage is where this was all going down, and they're beating people. And as they're beating people, I'm there with my girlfriend and a friend of mine, and we are going clockwise around counterclockwise around the bar as the whole, like, it's like a whirlwind of fists and kicks. They're just beating up everybody, and we're like, fuck this, we're not getting involved. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was funny.
Man,
crazy.
Like, why are you jumping in?
I don't know.
Especially if you see the colors. People are stupid.
Why would you jump into anything like that?
Because people are stupid.
Yeah.
See?
Bunch of TikToks.
It doesn't matter what year. Dumb is dumb. They've been dumb forever.
People have been dumb forever.
We are just documenting dumb more and more.
I think it's just the volume of it now is really getting to you because it's everywhere.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah. But I don't think it's changed.
No.
I don't think it's more or less. I
or
think
worse?
It's just, I just think it's available now. I think that stuff always happened all the time.
Right. But I think there's got to be a little trigger in there, like, maybe I'll become viral. Like,
I don't think you think that when somebody's, like, finger in your face, getting ready to blast you.
Your face. Finger blast in your face? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But you got to hope that they're going to do that to you, not just punch you.
Like, a guy's like this, and you're like, hey, I could get famous from this.
Hey, get the camera.
You're right.
I just don't trust anybody's motives, Like,
yeah, there are a lot of attention whores.
There's a whole bunch of that on there. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, just stop. I mean, it would be great if you, like, everybody could get the video of their worst time sent to them. Maybe they wouldn't be like the kid who just got shot in the stomach for pulling a prank.
I remember you telling me that.
Like, watch that. If you're on video, maybe you get to watch that and watch somebody just casually turn around and shoot you. And next time it might be higher. It might not be your stomach. It might be your chest.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go. Don't do stupid tricks.
Any more on that? Are you done?
Morons? I got plenty.
No, not morons, but more on what you were thinking.
No,
what we were talking about
good
before.
there. But when we did start talking about people with the everything is for whatever, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. Like I was watching
for popularity.
Yeah, like I'm looking at videos, pictures from what's that big Coachella, right? That's the big pop festival out in California.
Yeah, sure.
I'm looking at these videos. There's nobody there. Like, they're there, but they're not there. You know what I mean? Like, they're taking their pictures and leaving. They're not even sometimes there. They're just in the desert taking pictures. Like, the front of the stages looked empty. You remember going to, like, Lollapalooza?
Yeah.
Whatever. Horde Festival?
The thing is, there was one stage of those.
But yeah, this was only one, I think.
Yeah?
I think. Well, there might have been small stages, but there was one main stage for all the main people. And the main people didn't look like there was a lot of people there to watch them. Is the price too much? I don't know.
Maybe they stink.
Well, that's a given. There's nothing good going on there.
Right. Okay.
But it just feels like these people are going, they get a dozen pictures, it's too hot, let's leave. It's like you spend a few $100 for your tickets, whatever. I mean, how much money are these kids all making on being influencers or whatever? Probably make a ton.
Oh, you're saying influencers are doing that?
Yeah, it's like...
I was here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was here.
It's possible.
But it's like... But it's everything.
I thought you meant like average folks were just getting their picture taken and leaving.
I feel like there's no average folks there.
You
know what I mean? I feel like it's just somebody who's got is it purpose? Is that the right word? They got purpose. They got.
Isn't there purpose to watch the music?
Right, but I mean this person who thinks they have purpose because they're have so many likes or followers or whatever. They post their
Influencers.
they post their clothes, they post their face, whatever.
Okay.
But like, I don't know. I mean, that's the only reason they go. I mean, you don't see like Bob Smith there. Then again, because he's not an influencer, you don't see Bob Smith and his girlfriend at Coachella.
Just the singer of The Cure.
It is kinda. If you're friends with him, it's Robert. Right?
Robert, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you're buddies,
Yeah.
Bob Smith.
He's just hanging out.
He's just Bob. I don't think you need Smith at that point. But that's what I mean. It doesn't look like there's a throng or a core of just folks. Can't wait to go to the show in the desert. You know what I mean? I'm excited. Well,
They got to be there, otherwise the festival would shut down.
you think, but they just don't show the pictures. Maybe it's just bad pictures. I don't know.
The fuck was that?
Ghosts?
No, they're like a mosquito or something.
Chupacabra? I don't know.
It's on your face.
Yeah, thanks. But that's what I mean. But there's more and more people, though. It's starting to like set this all up. You know, make fake videos, make fake pictures, make fake. Like,
Well, if they're actually there, it's not fake.
well, some aren't there. They're saying they're there. They're in the desert taking a picture, saying, "Yeah, can't wait for Coachella."
Gotcha.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I'm not
that
sure
whole-
where you're going with this.
I don't know either. Just people are annoying. Like, I just want to see some regular folks, some guy who just worked all day fixing cars, take his girlfriend to Coachella.
Well, then why are you looking at the Instagram influencer?
But that's the only
people's-
pictures you see.
You got to search deeper, bro.
I really don't want to.
Go
The
deeper.
Coachella thing doesn't. You really
You know, when a bug lands on you, then you just feel like everything's on you.
like everything's itching.
Yeah. Now I'm in that zone.
But like even worse than that, I was like
More worser?
more worser. I was reading a thing about a person who was a marathon, a mega super marathon runner, who got caught cheating and didn't admit it until she had to admit it.
Okay.
Like she ran so far. She said she got lost, so she got a car ride to like some stop,
Nice.
and then she ran the rest of her race, got third place in the race, accepted the trophy and all the stuff, and then finally somebody, when they were going to verify the records, like this broad ran a mile in a minute and 40. Something's up.
Right. Yeah.
And then she goes, "Oh yeah, I was gonna. I really should have given that all back."
Do you know her name?
It's no, but you could probably look it up. Why?
I was just wondering because a while back Rogan had some female on his show that was doing those runs. They do like 100-mile run
they're
in
crazy, right?
Utah or some stuff like that. I was wondering if it was her. That's
But
all.
she came in third. Did she come in third on Rogan's?
I don't know. I mean,
I
they
don't know.
do those races all the time, so
Right.
who knows
Who knows?
which race it is.
But it's like you know she's not going to admit it because but until she got caught, you know. Like
Yeah.
But what is the level of that cheating that goes on that they ignore? Like a guy cheated and he came in 70th. You know, like came in 70th. They don't give a shit about that. We know he cheated.
why would they care?
But for integrity. Like,
I don't think they even pay attention if you don't place.
right? It's whatever.
I mean, unless it's like a league where you get points, depending on where you. Why would they even care?
But I don't know, integrity.
They got shit to do. Fucking integrity.
On to judge the next
Yeah.
race.
Yeah, exactly.
But at what what level though is it like? How often does it happen? Does it happen all the time? You think?
Cheating?
Yeah,
All the time.
like that level, like
Yeah. of
high
course.
end racing. I mean,
Yeah, well, you hear it in
Post-
football with
right.
signal. They're always.
Yeah.
I was watching baseball yesterday. They're taking out the pitcher. The guy has to talk behind his
Yeah,
hand. Like
they get caught stealing signs.
Yeah.
yeah.
they can't think of a code to talk to their people with.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I mean, you're going out there anyway. We know you're taking the pitcher out. What are you hiding?
Right. Well, maybe he's telling them like we're wasting time. me talking like this, and just say, oh, hey, when we
Or
get out of here,
get the guy a few more extra
seconds.
warm-up pitches.
Hey, man, we're going to hit
before
Applebee's after. Should go with that? What do you like, the ribs? What do you like over there?
Yeah.
They probably, it's not all baseball talk. Probably.
But why cover your? I don't know.
I don't know. Probably because if they saw from the stands.
Right, because if they're telling the guy he's coming out, right?
Right.
We already know that. You went to the mound.
Right.
He's out.
Yeah, but he's just buying.
He just gave up 3 runs. He's gone. He's done. It's the bottom of the 6th.
Right. He's
tired.
Buying the other dude some time.
I guess.
And he's doing it by giving the old, just talking about nonsense. I guess he feels if he doesn't cover his face, somebody like the announcer or something like, I think he's telling him where he got his shoes from. Like you could do that in the back.
Think it's secrets?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's all. They don't want to. They don't want to see like. Did he just tell him he fucked his wife? What? Why is he so mad? Like if you could read the lips, probably not what you want to see. Maybe there's a lot of cursing going on. Listen, you.
Have you seen Taco Bell's deals?
Yeah, or maybe
something like that.
Or maybe he's like, listen, you dumb mother effer, you gave up 4 runs.
Yeah.
Well, you should be shining shoes or pushing carts. You shouldn't be pitching. You
shouldn't be doing that on the mound anyway. You should do that in the locker room.
You ever have a coach?
No.
Yeah, they do it all. They don't care.
No.
I mean, they shouldn't. But
right.
They do.
Well, you're on TV. That's what I'm saying. You're on camera.
And you're a professional. You know what's up.
Yeah, you do that shit in the locker room.
But yeah, that just struck me as funny is that person, like any other person, they don't get. Everybody's trying to get over. Everybody's trying to get one over. It's like somebody finds something, somebody gets charged the wrong thing. Nobody ever admits it was wrong until they get pinched,
Sure.
Like all these crazy people who...
Well, don't you think it would be crazy to admit that you did something wrong?
Maybe.
Like, why would you want to get penalized for something?
Because you would think that if you cheated to get to first place or whatever, to finish, to place...
And now you got to feel like a good guy, like turning yourself in and...
Well, not even that, but you didn't get it. You didn't achieve it.
You already know that.
Right. So what just...
why lose the trophy and the whatever comes with it?
Like every moron who has 11 cents in the bank, and all of a sudden they have 200 grand, so they immediately go withdraw it. And then
what?
That
happens?
It happens all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
So I have to take all the money out except for 11 cents?
Like that's what a lot of them do. They get this weird...
No, is 11 cents the number?
No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
You're down on your luck. You're on the balls of your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden you happen
That's a picture. Yeah.
I don't even know if you're going to find that one.
Yeah. I'm sure there's something like it that I could find.
It might not be appropriate.
Yeah.
But, all right. So you're, all of a sudden you think you have $10 in the bank, so you go to withdraw it, and you're like, got 200 grand in here.
Yeah.
Better take that out real quick. Like, do they not think they're going to find you? That's penalty. That's stealing.
Is it?
Sure.
How do I know, my mom didn't put it in there?
Your mom's been dead for 30 years.
She hasn't. But that's
not your
okay.
mom. Not your mom.
Saying.
I'm saying in general. Hypothetical you.
I don't know who put it in there. Maybe somebody's, philanthropic.
Yeah. And they're like...
I don't know.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
So...
You didn't know I was related to Warren Buffett, huh?
Yeah, he just happened to hey, look, I noticed you had nothing in the bank.
Yeah.
Here you go.
I mean, you got 11 cents.
Here's a little taste.
Hey, kid. There you go.
But it's like they do it with Bitcoin. They do it but they get caught. It gets reversed. Like
if you saw the 200 grand in your bank account, would you report it?
Of course.
Fuck that.
I'd be like, I would. I'll be honest. I don't know if I'd do it if I found it on the side of the road.
No,
if I found a bag of money on the side of the road, I don't know if I would call that one in.
If you found a bag of money on the side of the road and then you told me later that you returned it, I would hit you with my car.
Yeah, and I would take it.
Yeah.
I would make you back over me. And again.
You wouldn't have a choice.
And again. I mean, I guess it depends on where you find the bag too, right? You found it.
If it's next to a body,
yeah,
maybe you don't want to touch it.
Or you happen to be out in the Mexican desert.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to skip that bag of money.
Sure.
But you're driving casually down the highway and you're like, what the hell is that? Go over there and pick it up. Yeah, and it, as long as it's in a plain bag. I mean, if it says, First Bank Trust, would you still take
Like
it?
it dropped out of the back of a Brinks truck?
Yeah, bounce. That happened. Well, not dollars though, unfortunately.
You told me the coins.
Yeah. Whew.
Yeah,
Would you take it and store it somewhere for a little while? Till the heat came down?
No, I would go spend it.
Right away?
Fuck yeah.
You'd have to leave the area, right? You couldn't spend it in this area.
Go out of the country.
All of a sudden you're throwing around money.
Yeah.
To the local.
Going on vacation for 2 years.
I mean, like, do you think that money's registered?
They must do something that they can trace money.
They have to, right? Serial numbers?
If it's through a Brinks thing, I would think so.
I mean, I'm talking about a brown paper bag's different.
Yeah.
But I mean, you wouldn't feel guilty if it was some hard-working small business who happened to drop it?
How would you know?
Because it said inside there.
Says on the side, small
My
business.
small business.
Mom and pop shop.
Yeah. Let's say it was in a bag. Like, let's say it was
Our
in...
kids' college fund says on the bottom of it.
Let's say you see the thing. If you don't know what it is, you think it's a possum. I don't know. It's brown. Maybe it's a rat. I don't know. Check what that thing is. So you bring a shovel just in case you got to hit it. I mean, you never know. But whoa, it's a burlap bag.
I'd hit it anyway.
Right, just case.
Yeah, you don't know what's in there.
And as you see the bag, it says.
What if it's Cobra in there?
Right. Like, then you might have to snake charm it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What if it was a bag of money with the Cobra?
That's a rough one.
Yeah. Then you got to get the Cobra out of the way.
Yeah. How would you even untie it? Wouldn't it be biting as you're like trying to untie it?
I would think so.
Yeah.
Can't you get like some kind of metal gloves?
Because you just happen to have those on the side of the road with the raccoon bag
well, maybe
full of snakes and money.
Maybe throw a tire on it. Now your money's all covered in venom.
But the snake can go right through the hole, and then you're screwed.
Is he that fast? Isn't he going to be more afraid of you than him?
Going down a weird road here.
Is he going to be more afraid of you than him if you're fighting? I mean, if he's cornered, I think maybe he's going to fight back. But if he's not cornered, he probably will leave.
Yeah, they'll go away eventually,
right,
I would think.
But now you're going to look like a moron sitting on the side of the road.
Yeah, it's not like they're looking at you as food.
Because now more people are going to come around going, why are you sitting here looking at that bag?
Snake in a bag.
But look, Sneaks on a bag. Isn't that Samuel Jackson movie? But for all intent and purpose, you see that your bag, you've realized there's no snakes in it. It's not a possum. It's
just money.
It's just a bag. But on the side of it, it has the name and the address of a store that's in town.
Okay.
Do you take it back to them and go, I think you dropped this? And then you hope that the people behind the counter are like, oh my God, I can't believe that's my money. Or that guy's slicker than you and goes, yeah, that's right, I dropped my money. Like it just, because the guy who had the money actually put it in that guy's bag.
Wouldn't they be insured for it?
Cash?
If they're going through Brinks, wouldn't Brinks have like a record of things that they received?
Right, if it fell out of a truck.
So it would be on Brinks. Brinks has to be insured for that money because they fucked it up.
But I'm just saying, what if this...
Not me.
But what if it wasn't Brinks? It was the mom and pop store who threw out the money accidentally. It was on the roof of the car.
Along with Grandma, sure.
With the coffee. He forgot.
Yeah.
He took over.
Okay.
Now, when you go and you see the name of the store on the bag, do you go to the store with the bag and be like, hey, I found your money? And you hope that they break down in tears and go, oh, that was our rent and everything? Or is that guy behind the counter savvy enough to go, yeah, that was ours? And then you give him the bag.
I would hold on to it for a couple of days, see if they ended up on the nightly news crying about it.
And if they did, you'd return it? Most of it?
At that point, I would just take a few moments to think about it.
Okay.
Because before that, I wouldn't even think about it. It was like, this shit's mine.
Right.
Yeah.
It would stop you for a minute.
Yeah.
It would slow you
Yeah.
down.
But probably am stealing it.
Right.
Let's be honest.
I think
I'm taking it.
got it 90%.
How much money is in it?
$50,000.
Yeah. I got to go buy a car immediately.
$5,500.
Nah, it's not worth it.
Not worth the grief.
Right.
What if it said El Chapo? The little tag.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't even touch it.
Right. You would just leave it there, right?
Yeah.
I would
Unless that was the name of a clothing store in town.
The Chap store?
Yeah, just the whole chaps.
Hey, I'll give you this bag back for a pair of those sweet chaps. If it did say El Chapo, would you just wait and see who else picks up and watch what happens to that guy?
No, I don't want to be involved with that at all.
Because they would kill you anyway.
Yeah, I don't want to be anywhere. No.
What level of cop do you think skims off the top of a bust?
What does that mean? What level?
Like, okay, we're SWAT, right?
Okay.
We get the call,
Right.
that house is drug house, right?
Yeah.
We bust everybody, right? And then we're sweeping the house and we find the room that's got $500,000,
Right.
$2 million, I don't know, whatever, because, you're a drug dealer, you got cash lying around.
Yeah.
Everybody take a little? Or do they never take it?
There's no such thing as never.
Do you think they all have a pact before they go in? Like, look.
I think that some might.
But do you think the whole
But how do you
team
bring
has
new
to?
people into the pact? You know what I mean? You got to
Right.
know them a little bit first.
Right. But no, this is.
Or they got to be compromised in some way that it's like, you're either taking this or we're going to let loose that we know this about you. And
Right.
you're
That's
gonna
what I
be
mean.
ruined
So,
too.
yeah, there's like, or you find yourself on a new SWAT team and they're like, what's everybody's
Well,
cut?
they're criminals on the other side, right?
Right.
They're the same thing. So
Sure. But that's what I mean, though. So there's $2 million in there, but it was really 2.1. Everybody took $10,000. It's a team of 10 guys.
yeah,
Think that happens? Like the whole team, not just one guy. There's plenty of stories of one guy who's rogue. Like,
I think it would be like one or two.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they would be like, hey, look what I got for Halloween.
Right.
And just dump their bag on the ground and say, here's
I mean, how many stories
a
are there?
sweet tart for you. And no, I don't think they do that. I think it's two guys in a room and they're like,
Shove some in the pants real quick.
yeah.
Right. I mean, because you hear about it, I'm sure every time they shake down a drug dealer, if they're,
But then again, there's so many cameras nowadays.
Right.
It's got to be rough.
Right. Do you think, or do you think the drug dealer says, whoa, $2 million? I had 2.5.
Well, I'm sure they do, but
You guys took my money. Not that guy's going to get it back, but he's going to, F you to the cops.
yeah.
Give him a little, F you for
Right.
busting me.
Yeah, maybe that would start some sort of internal affairs investigation or something.
Right. I'm just, like I said, people.
But how would they prove it?
True.
I mean, unless you went and bought minks and
Right. They all
stuff.
have body cams and stuff, so
Yeah. It's got to be a lot harder.
now.
Yeah, it's got to be a lot harder to get away with crimes just in general.
Well, there's cameras everywhere, right? But people still try.
Yeah.
They always try. I mean, if it's not taking a candy
It's like
bar.
the only way you can get away with stuff now is online stuff, right? Because that's sort of,
fraudish.
you got to mask your URL somehow, and I don't know how it works, but it seems like those are the only crimes that people get away with.
Right. I'm still amazed that at this day and age, people are still trying to hire a hitman online. That's ridiculous.
The hitman.com?
Yeah. They go
Okay.
they go to the dark web, they think. That's always a cop.
Sure.
You really think you're going to hire a hitman online? I mean, honestly. You really think on Craigslist you're going to find a hitman?
Not on Craigslist.
Whatever.
No.
Do you really think on that dark web that there's actual hitmen?
Sure. Yeah, I do.
You're just trying to be contrarian.
No.
I think that's never.
No. I think there's all kinds of crazy people that'll do shit for money. Crackheads.
I know, but that's.
But
Well,
I don't
are you
think they
hiring
would.
a crackhead
I don't
as a
think,
hitman?
I don't think. If you don't know who he is, it doesn't. You don't know anything about the person.
Right, but you should, right? A little.
What are you gonna do? hang out with him for a week, see what he's
Well,
like?
you have to. At some point, the transaction has to become personal, right?
No.
Never. You never have to meet the hitman.
No, Bitcoin or whatever.
But I think you have to meet him.
I don't think so.
What's the number?
The number,
Like, you know, like when I go out for when I do a job, I bid, right, on the job.
I think you're thinking this guy's like some James Bond professional hitman guy.
Well, if you're
I think there's just, you just meet somebody on the internet and you're like, ah, my wife's a bitch. And be like, hey, you ever think about whacking her? And you're like, yeah, I think about it all the time, but I could never do it because then I'd go to jail. And this guy's like, hey, you know, for whatever, I'll take care of it. And you'd be like,
what's the number?
all right, I don't know.
Like, I think if he's...
I'm not hiring anybody to kill anybody, so...
Me either, but I think if the number's too low, it's not real.
No, I don't think that at all. I think people are really stupid. And because years ago there was this thing, a couple towns over, these 9 people robbed a couple banks. And they got like $17,000. Right?
What's the point?
Yeah, and they ended up doing like 7 years each for like $1,300 or a piece, something stupid like that.
Wow.
They're drug addicts. They're not thinking about it. They're just thinking they got drug brain.
And I think the hitman is a different thing, right?
No, it's all stupid
You
stuff.
think it's the same? I don't see. My philosophy.
You got some serious tread on your sneakers or what?
Yeah. My philosophy is that nobody is a real hitman online. And if you're going to hire a real hitman, he's getting paid.
What does real mean? Like a guy who
a
does it for a
professional
living?
Yeah, like a mob guy.
Probably not.
But
I'll agree with you there.
Right.
Probably
So I would
not.
think there's no real hitman.
That's got to
on
be
it.
like a word of mouth thing.
Right. And I think it's got to cost you 20, 30 grand.
And I don't think they would do anything for you unless you knew somebody
Right.
that they were very connected with.
And I don't even know if that mob hitman would do it for a crime of passion, like you hate your wife. I think a hitman would do it a mob hitman like that would do it based on the problem, right? I'm a small business, whatever. I got a business in the neighborhood, and this guy keeps messing with me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they would actually kill somebody for that kind of thing. I think.
Yeah, I don't think they would give a shit.
I think a mob hitman does stuff for the mob. This guy's not paying his vig.
Yeah, and that's why you're not getting in touch with him. Sure.
So there's no real hitman for you at the entry level.
Not a professional mob guy.
Right.
No.
Because you figure,
There's not.
I would think a hitman, he's only doing a couple gigs a year. He's not doing it weekly.
My thought is that if there's any real hitmen besides mob guys, they're like ex-military mercenary guys, and they're just like...
Soldier of fortune.
Yeah, you give them a picture and a name, and they just go shoot the dude.
And they would do it, you think?
Yeah, I'm sure it happens all the time. Sure.
I don't know. But I still think it's a friend of a friend. I don't know if you're finding that person just from a blurb. You know, dirty deeds done.
No, I don't think
thing.
there's any want ads.
No.
Hi, hitman for hire.
But but when they pick them off the dark web, they see, oh, guy will do your dirty deeds.
I don't think it works like that.
I don't know. I never
I don't think it works like that. I think they get caught in a conversation and it comes up.
Oh, a guy goes, oh, by the way, if you...
Yeah.
If you got
Yeah, I don't think there's like a, classified ad on the dark web for hitman.
No?
No. Like bomb maker,
Yeah.
hitman.
Right. What do you need? You
Right.
You go out there, it says stolen credit cards, it says ayahuasca.
I'll wash your money.
It says cocaine.
Right.
It say all that stuff. Why wouldn't it say, guy will...
Does it?
Right.
Are you speaking from experience
No,
here?
but I'm saying I've watched enough documentaries where it does say...
What says? The internet says...
The dark web says, hey...
Cocaine for sale?
Yeah. Crystal meth, whatever.
Okay.
So why wouldn't it say, Bob's Hitman Service? Bob's Handy Hitman Service.
I don't know.
Harry's Happening Hitman. Whatever.
I'm thinking maybe there's a little bit of space and opportunity for you to start a new business here. Because I don't think Harry the Hitman .com is taken. I think you could jump right in there.
Start my new fortune.
Yeah.
What if it was Harry the Hitman and people like contacted me? I'm like 10 grand, and like okay, and then I just give them a song. Hey, Harry the Hitman. I make
song?
hits. I'm a hit maker.
Oh Jesus.
I write hits. Maybe you should have read the whole ad. But you could fool. You need to put some twirling guns and stuff, and like, ooh, this is the spot.
Nice.
But I think every moron who thinks they're going to find that online, it's always a cop. You know, like when they're trying to bang 12-year-olds and 11-year-olds.
Yeah, I would say the majority of them, sure, it's always some kind of sting.
And it's amazing that they don't learn. Because?
But let's be honest. Why are the cops getting involved?
I agree.
Isn't that a setup, though? Aren't you kind of luring somebody into something?
Entrapment?
Yeah, that's the word.
Maybe. Maybe they should...
You all educated.
So you think they should stay out of it until it happens?
Yeah, you shouldn't be like, I'm offering to shoot somebody for you.
Well, that's... what is that movie? With the future crimes? They're trying to stop future crime? Was that Tom Cruise movie?
I don't know.
With the thought police and they stop the future crimes? I don't know the name of the movie. I'm sure we can find it. But it is a movie where they're thought police. You're thinking of a crime and they get you before you can commit the crime.
That's stupid.
I didn't come up with the premise.
Yeah, because I think of shit all the time. Doesn't mean I go through with it.
Why not?
We should take a break here.
Okay.
We can finish this on the other end.
Yes. Was this Enjoy the Comedy Shop? Was that a little James shirt?
It is. Do you like how he stole the Coca-Cola logo?
See? Try to get one by the man. I guess if he sold 10,000, Coke would call him.
Yeah.
He saw half a dozen.
I think they're okay. Right. They don't need the money.
So, thought police. You think that's stupid?
I think judging somebody for a crime before it's committed is...
So stop and frisk is no good? Profiling is no good?
Profiling's awesome.
Well, isn't that thought policing?
No, that's good detective work.
That's playing the percentages?
No, that's just being smart. No. Profiling's great.
But it's the same thing, isn't it?
No. Like, if you just think, oh, man, I had a bad time at the post office, I should blow that thing up, and then all of a sudden you hear whoop, 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 and they throw you on the ground. That's different, because you're just blowing off steam in your brain. You didn't even vocalize this thought.
But what happens if you go home and you type in how to make a bomb?
All right, but that's different. That shows intent.
But does it? Or what if you said,
yeah,
how do they make a bomb? So now you're just curious. How do they make a bomb?
Okay.
I mean, you see people countlessly getting busted, and that's the first thing they say at trial. You were on the web, and you looked up how to bury your wife, how to cut up a person, the cheapest way to kill somebody, you know.
Sure.
They pour in rat poison in people's Cheerios and whatever, and then they get busted. They get busted with cell phone towers. Like...
They get busted with cell phone towers?
Yeah, like when they go to a murder. They go to murder somebody.
At the towers?
No, they trace them with the towers.
Because they have the GPS on their phone.
Right, like that moron who killed those poor kids in Idaho. He thought he was smart. He turned his phone off before he went to kill them. Mm-hmm. However, he never turned his phone off the dozen times he was casing the joint. Mm. So that's all. That information, everything we do is out there. So, I don't know, is the cop entrapping you when he just says, I'm going to put this little window, hey, you need someone killed?
Yes.
I think I would be suspicious
yes, I do.
if he spit out the lyrics to Dirty Deeds. Where'd you get that from? Is this our slogan?
You click on the website, the guns are spinning, you hear Dirty Deeds in the background.
Yeah.
That's nice. I like it.
I found the place.
We've got a winner.
I mean, eventually, don't you think, what happens to that next level when we talked about all that chat, AI and all that
But then
stuff?
I guess that's the same thing as what the whole Chris Hansen thing used to do, right?
She used to set up, right?
Yeah.
The girl or guy poses as a child, mm-hmm. and then Chris is there.
Yeah.
I find it awful that Chris is hawking Viagra now. Don't talk about entrapment. I hear
He's
Ed's
stacking the deck.
Yeah.
That's not right at all.
I was like, listening to Sirius, and all of a sudden I hear Chris Hansen hawking generic Viagra, and I'm like, now you're going to get
Is he also selling cock rings?
He's like selling little children blow-up dolls. Oh. I don't know what he's selling. That was a great
like
show.
those old bozo ones that used to punch and they would rock back and forth. But this one has an open mouth.
Chris is like, I'm just trying to make a business. I mean, he's going with what he knows.
Yeah, there you go.
Did you watch that show, right? 1,000,000 times.
I never really watched whole episodes of it, but you would see clips over the years of.
I'd only watch it if he was in Jersey
thing or whatever.
Right. I'd only watch it if he was in New Jersey.
Yeah.
You
wanted to see if you knew the person?
Exactly. He was down at LBI once.
Okay.
And he told, the guy came out, hey, I'm Chris Hansen. And first, they're always like, I wasn't just coming to tell them how wrong they were.
Sure.
So you're carrying a pizza and a pack of condoms and rope.
That's not pepperoni on that pie.
Yeah. Why is there a hole in the middle of that box? And so the guy got up and he goes out the back door of the house. He starts running to the ocean.
Yeah, good job.
And the cop's like, where are you going?
Yeah.
He goes, swim in Italy.
Hey, when you used to make pies, did you put that little table in the middle?
That wasn't invented yet. Well, no, when I made pies, no. No, they're rigid boxes. They were like...
That's what I'm thinking.
They were very thick box, but...
Do you think they're making cheaper boxes now, and that's why they need them?
I think that's why they made them first, right? Because the boxes were that thinner cardboard.
That people that work at pizzerias are stupid, and they're going to put a little thing on top of a big thing, and it's going to push it in.
That happens all the time.
Sure.
Right? But usually the boxes now are like a box. Like a shoebox,
Yeah, like it's not going to go...
It's sturdy.
Yeah.
But still, I guess if enough heat, steam, it'll soften.
It's got to go pretty far to hit cheese, though.
Sure.
Unless you do Chicago style deep dish.
Right. I don't miss it. I can tell you that.
Working in a pizzeria? Owning a pizzeria?
Yeah, no, that's a fucking daycare center. That's all that is.
What?
Because
you mean the customers?
Everybody.
Well, yeah, your employees are always going to be dipshits, right?
They're children, usually.
How much can you really be paying them at
Right.
a pizzeria?
Right.
You're not going to be paying them $50 an hour.
You'll have 16, 17, right? Because of delivering.
Right.
And then, and it's always a crime of opportunity because there's always cash.
Mm-hmm.
So you always got to keep an eye on cash.
Yeah.
And then, you would think the kid's smarter enough to realize there's not enough camera. There's no cameras. There's not enough cameras. You're going to have to leave. You can't be there 24/7. I think that's probably why people who are here from another country are better at food service. I think they just don't care. Like, I think as Americans we have a little bit of care in us. Like, you come in, you order a pizza. You take the pizza out, you come right back, you're like, hey man, this really isn't done enough. You can make it a little crispy or whatever. And you usually go, all right, sure. And you're calm about it.
People actually do that?
Yeah. The shit that people...
I've never returned a pizza. That's
I've never returned an ounce of food ever.
Yeah.
The only time
If I return food...
It's a full return.
I'm just like, I don't want anything else.
Right.
Because I think it's going to be loaded. Whatever comes, who knows what's going to be like ball hairs in it or something.
It's going to be something.
Yeah.
It's always, I'm good.
Yeah.
Just take it off the bill.
Yeah.
I've had people come in and be like, hey, this is, again, people wanting to get over, right? I had a guy come in. He's like, hey, I want a pizza with pepperoni.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you start, you make a pizza. You start putting the pepperoni on.
Yeah.
And then like 3/4 of the way he goes, you know what, make it half. All right. You start taking them off.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, whoa, what are you doing? I said, taking them off. You only want half. He goes, why don't you just move them over? I'm like, no, that's not how it works. It's like you're getting 60 cents of pepperoni.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's the part. It's like...
People actually do that, huh?
Everything to get by.
Why wouldn't you just make a different pie?
Well, because it's all it is lifting the pepperoni off before it goes in the oven.
No, I got you.
Right. Like
Just to avoid that. Just be like, all right, this one's a pepperoni pie.
Nah.
Or I could sell this as slices.
Right. I always thought, too, like, I guess because now you're older, like, the idea of, like, if you could buy a whole pizza...
Would it just be better just to be like, whatever. Here, you got a bonus slice with extra pepperoni. Good for you.
Nope. Because you're counting your money. Everything's... You're right.
1 pepperoni, 2
right.
pepperoni, 3 pepperoni.
And what made it worse at that time was that...
If you had a bag full of pepperoni in the Brinks truck and it fell out, and it fell on the side of the road. No, go ahead.
All right.
Sorry.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, because there's always something, at the time when I was slinging pies, we were, as a country, selling corn to other countries to make ethanol.
Okay.
In turn, there wasn't enough corn to feed milk cows.
Okay.
So, farmers were slaughtering cows for beef because it was too expensive to keep milk cows alive. Mm-hmm. So the price of milk and cheese shot through the roof. Mm-hmm. So you know how hard it is to try to raise your price every 3 days? You can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you count everything.
I got you.
Every little bit.
You know what started all that?
What?
They're feeding the cows corn. They should be eating grass.
Don't they eat corn too?
I don't think so.
They were.
I mean, they will.
I'm sure they'll eat whatever you give them.
Yeah. But they shouldn't.
I don't know. I don't own cows.
I think they're just supposed to eat grass, right?
I don't know.
Free range cow.
To a point, right?
Okay.
Until they hit the fence.
I think it's just people are being,
Or are milk cows treated differently? They don't graze as much?
I think.
Because grass-fed beef makes sense. They're wandering around chewing big cows.
Yeah.
Maybe milk cows, because we got so many chemicals in milk, they enrich the milk somehow with corn. I'm not a farmer.
I don't know.
Would you want to be a farmer?
Sure. I could be a farmer. But I got to have the hat and the overalls.
Whole bit.
The whole bit. The piece of straw. All that.
Would you wear a shirt under the overalls?
No.
Never.
No, actually, as a farmer, yeah, you should. But it's got to be a tattered shirt.
You wouldn't like it?
It can't be like a complete shirt. It's got to have some holes in it, or
it has to be.
It's got to be like a 3/4 sleeve.
You have to be like those kids overseas. Like you have to have the other teams, the wrong team that won the Super Bowl. You know how that shirt gets sent over to Africa or whatever.
All right.
Like
Yeah.
You have to wear that shirt.
Yeah, they printed them all in advance.
Yep.
In the hopes that one of the others going to win.
Somebody's going to wear it.
Yeah, and then they just send them over with like Toys for Tots or something.
I don't know if I could be an animal farmer. I could probably be a food farmer, vegetable farmer. I don't know if I could be an animal farmer. That seems expensive. Trying to keep alive a herd of cattle.
Yeah, I would think so.
And then,
I mean, you got to have a lot of space, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of space. Because you got to have a lot of grass.
Got a lot of eating.
Yeah. And then you got to think that depending on what's in the area, something's going to attack some of your cows.
Sure.
Sometimes they get diseases.
Mm-hmm. That seems like a lot of work. I mean...
everything's work. No.
Right. Well, no, everything is work, but that's one of the ones where, it's like, my in-laws live near a bunch of farms, but they're all hay farms.
Okay.
I didn't realize we needed that much hay. I guess it's going to all the cows, right? Or horses.
Whoever eats hay. Yeah, horse,
hay,
right?
Hay's for horses, right? And that's what the kids say.
My dad used to say that to me all the time.
Hay's for horses?
I'd be like, hey, Dad. And he was like, hay's for horses. Fucking dick.
Just like that. Hay's for horses.
Yeah, it's a fucking dick.
Yeah. What the hell?
It's time to get up.
Oh, it's alarm time.
Actually, it's time.
You did all that work for Do Not Disturb.
No, that's my alarm to wake up.
So you would wake up now right before work?
Yeah. I only got to walk downstairs and turn on a computer, it's time to turn that computer on.
But that's the thing, man. People, going back to the pizzeria, people just want to get over. They want to get by. Everything.
Yeah.
Hey, what are 2 slices and a Coke? I don't know, $3. Got $2.70. It's like,
then you ain't got no coke.
You
You
get-
know what I'm saying?
Like that.
That's what I would say.
We were talking about just people getting over on people. What
Hey, do you
Yeah.
think if I'm drinking too much coffee, if my pee smells like coffee? Or is that just like a natural flow of things?
No, I would think, yeah, if you're drinking too much coffee, you're smelling like
Like I should drink more water?
Yeah.
Less coffee and more water?
Yeah,
My ratio is off?
seems like you're full of coffee and not full of water.
Well, not anymore.
Well,
Oh.
yo.
Hey.
But don't you think we'd be better off if people would just stop trying to get over on people? Or is that part
Yeah,
of the
but that's
is it the ecosystem?
everybody tries to figure out ways to make humanity better, right?
Sure.
And the only thing to do is for people to act correctly, and that will fix everything.
Probably, right?
Of course, because there'll be no backstabbing, there'll be no espionage, there'll be no
Right.
cheating, there'll be no stealing.
People will be bored.
It's just impossible because people are dirtbags.
They're just wired that way.
Yeah, we're still animals.
We are. No.
Yeah, we like to pretend we're better than, but we're not. We're just
But do animals try to get over on each other? Or they just take?
well.
They
That's
just take,
it.
right?
They just take. I mean, it's no different. It's just
We have a conscience, so we steal, we don't take. Like we take it, but
no. They take too. They don't care.
they take it on the sly.
Not always.
Well, sometimes.
There's scammers out there.
Sure.
There's people who rape kids. They don't do it on the slide. It's just grab your kid and fuck them.
Well, but they do it on the slide, meaning that they're not walking down the street with the kid going, I'm going to bang this kid later. It is done
That's not
clandestine.
true because they do kidnap people for years and they take them out and stuff.
And the kid doesn't want to run away? Is it just that?
It happens, but I think years of abuse,
It's just broken.
your brain gets broken. Yeah.
That's real weird, too, because we have so much technology. We have so much everything that you would think that, not saying that your brain's not going to be broken, but that you see that your life is wrong. Like, the life that somebody's given you is wrong. You know what I mean?
You mean the person who was
kidnappee,
kidnapped?
Yeah.
What would trigger you back to reality and wanting to escape?
Right. Like, what would, like, that microcosm would be the house, right? How much.
I guess it depends, like, what age you were kidnapped at and
Right.
what happened. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
What
either.
happened in between, and
Right. But I mean, just the fact that you go out,
you see somebody that looks like your actual parent that you know.
there's
and
got to
you're
be some kind of trigger.
Yeah.
Like, you are a kid. Let's say, I don't know, you're 12, 13, you've been kidnapped by this fucking monster
Right.
years ago.
Yeah.
And he has the balls of the nerve to think that we're going to go out in public and everything's going to be fine. And
Yeah.
then that kid just happens to look around.
Let me ask you this: do you think that people who kidnap people, and not for ransom, but just to hold and kind of enslave,
Right.
do you think they think that's proper behavior? Like they're that destroyed that they're like, this is just what people do. We just have somebody tied up in a basement.
Like, that's normal. Everybody's got one.
For them, it is because they're broken.
Right. But I mean, but I'm saying, but so this guy or woman, I don't know, got to be fair, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got enough hubris to say, I've got this licked. I've got this human under my condition. Like, I'm going to take this kid out or do whatever, and that it's going to be perfectly normal. Like, his life is going to seem perfectly normal
I don't
against
think
that backdrop.
You see, you're thinking like a normal person trying
I
to think
guess
like
so.
a crazy person. I don't think they think I'm taking this kid out of something. They just think mine.
Right.
I don't think they have that other step
Right. Well,
in
I mean-
between. Like a normal person
Right.
would be like, I'm taking this person away from their parents, and they're
Right. No,
that
no,
would cause
that's
all
right.
kinds of moral issues in you because you're a normal person,
Right, you would
right?
think.
I don't think the other person has it. They're just like, got it.
Right, but that's what I mean. But at what point does that crazy person, obviously because they're crazy, there's something definitely wrong with them, think that they've beat or erased that person's system enough that they could take them out of an enslaved environment and everything would be, you know what I mean, like that
Again, I don't think they
think that far.
no.
Just
That's
we're
just
going to Costco.
pure animal instinct.
We're just going to Costco.
Want,
you're mine.
fuck,
Right.
and they steal, and then they just bang your kid.
But I'm saying, so then he's got him for a bunch of years. He's got him broken, brainwashed. He takes him out of that house to the park. I don't know
Because again, they have a disconnect with what.
what would really happen.
Yeah,
You know, that kid just being on a slide with
they
other
don't
kids.
have the same consequence. I don't think. I think they just.
Fuck it. That's it.
I just don't think they have it.
They're looking at the world differently. Whatever. Yeah. Then those people need to be eradicated.
I'm okay with that.
From the hitman.
But how do you? Yeah, those fucking kids, man. They all need to go. It's causing all this problems.
Well, those are your future crimes.
There was no supple little children.
Yeah, right. Not even the children, but the person who's going to grow up to be the weirdo. That's the fuck crime.
Yeah, but how do you find that out?
I think they go down a path, right? There's got to be markers. I don't think somebody wakes up one morning at their 9 to 5 and goes, you know what? I'm turning into a kidnapper, raper. I've had it with this.
No, it's
this
definitely.
life. There's got to be a trail.
Yeah.
And granted, people probably turn a blind eye to people in their life. Oh, that's just Fred. He's strange. It's just cousin Fred. He's a little off.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that. I think there's a lot of, if there's warning signs, people just not following up with it. I mean, we saw that stuff with all kinds of terrorist stuff that the FBI were watching people and then they just stopped watching them for some reason. And then they end up, wasn't that the Boston Marathon guys?
Yep.
It was like that.
They're watching.
Yeah, and those are supposed to be trained adults. Like, that's their job, is to watch these people, and they got them on a list and they're watching them. And then they're just like, we'll stop.
Yeah, that doesn't make. I mean, same with shooters. Some of these.
I mean, why were they watching them in the first place? I don't even know, but
there was a reason they triggered something.
There must have been something, right? It's not just because they're from wherever they're from.
It's the same with some of these shooters, these school shooters. The parents have sent out warnings or turn a blind eye to the behaviors.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be. I'm not talking about gun control, but there's got to be something where somebody's crazy enough that you notice it, and that somebody takes it seriously.
The taken seriously thing is the problem, right?
Right.
Because I don't think we have enough focus on mental health in this country.
Not at all.
Like, we just, everybody talks about how Giuliani closed down a lot of the.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so. They put everybody on the street, and that's why the homeless population. I don't know for sure.
Right.
That's, again, facts, and we don't really deal with that here too
much.
We're
not a fact-based environment.
And they say Reagan's instituted some programs that also limited budgets towards mental health facilities or whatever.
Right.
But maybe that was because funds were being misused, or who knows.
But at a sign, with the sign of a pen, right? A couple check marks, they could get some of that money flowing, right? Or do they want to?
Who's they?
The government.
They're too busy sending money to Ukraine.
Yeah, they are. They're sending money to the wrong places.
$100 billion. Why fix anything here when you can fix something over there?
That's probably for a whole smarter podcast.
Grifters.
Yeah.
The grifters.
Imagine if that's
See, this is why bag of money. This is why I don't want to pay taxes, because none of this stuff goes where I want it to go.
Right.
I'd rather them fix the homeless situation or work on mental health or something. Like, why are you sending it overseas?
Right. Wouldn't that be great if we had the
why is our nose in everybody's business?
Yeah, that I don't believe in.
I mean, I get that you shouldn't just let Russia or China annex whatever they want, but
right. But
at the same time,
circle the wagons a little bit here and get us right.
I'm sure there's implications of them running over Ukraine, right?
Sure. Well, we're gonna make them one step closer to Poland and everywhere else.
Yeah, and who knows, some strategic stuff which is beyond me.
Right, but let's cut that out, right? Let's cut that out of the equation. If every country just worried about itself, would each country survive? Does each country, you think, have enough natural resources?
No.
So you couldn't, right?
No.
A lot of islands couldn't. America could survive. Canada could probably survive.
Sure.
China could survive.
I mean, we'd have a lot less junk
sure.
here. You know, all the garbage we get from overseas, the stupid stuff we don't really need anyway.
Sure.
But
I mean, most major countries could survive, probably.
Most.
Not all, right?
Yeah.
Could India survive on its own?
I don't know enough about,
Right. Global.
I'm thinking since they have 1 billion people, they're fine.
Figure out something, right? Soylent Green. If everybody gets hungry.
Yeah, something. Yeah. They're definitely not eating cows, right?
No, that's your uncle. That's Uncle Ray. Don't touch him.
Ray.
Now, wouldn't that be something if, like, they changed our world to a flat tax, right? They said, okay, we're doing flat tax. You pay what you owe is what you owe, right? 10%, whatever the number is.
Okay.
And there was a series of check boxes. Where do you want your taxes to go to? Oh, well, I want my taxes to go to homeless and mental issues.
Okay.
Imagine that. Would it work?
Right.
Or would there somebody...
Education,
right,
military, whatever your thing is.
Right.
Yeah, where do you want it to go? That would be great.
You think it would, but you don't think they would skim a little if they took their 10%?
I think they probably already skim. But they don't, I don't think they just grab it off. I don't think there's like a big
pot
vault and they just start filling their pockets.
Right.
I think they do it through bills that they introduce, special interests.
Those guys, they slip the envelopes. They push the envelopes around.
What I think happens, yeah.
But how did they got to fix that? Because there's going to be...
You got to fix human nature. You're not going to fix that because you got to fix...
That would need a reset. Full reset.
The great reset.
That's right.
Yes.
I mean, we would
Are you
need...
a Klaus Schwab fan?
No. I always thought the Ring of Fire was interesting. Maybe that's what needs to happen. All those volcanoes, all the volcanoes that
they encircle what?
The whole world.
Okay.
And if they all were to go off, it would just cover the whole world.
Is there somebody with one of those old school plungers?
Or like a end of Caddyshack?
Yes.
You see them going off all And then everybody just gets covered over, like Pompeii type stuff, and we just start over. Whoever survives. I don't know who would survive, if anybody. I guess if you're out in the ocean.
Yeah.
So a bunch of crab and fishermen come back and start this place over.
Crabmen.
You're looking around going...
They'll mate.
Well, no, the shark lady.
Baby will come out.
Yeah.
Land shark.
That shark lady will come out.
Sure.
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope there's no shark lady.
I think we should call it quits on this.
This was a very dark episode.
Yeah.
And if you or anybody you know is dealing with suicidal thoughts, go see somebody.
Yeah. Real professionals.
You're not us.
Yeah.
Till next time.
T.O.T.
Later.